Your eye color is more than just an aesthetic trait. It served as a survival mechanism that helped your ancestors thrive across the globe. Around 70% of people worldwide have brown eyes, while the remaining 30% possess genetic variations that reveal a fascinating history of migration, adaptation, and human evolution. Let's take a deeper look at what your eye color truly represents. Brown eyes. Brown eyes function as nature's ultimate biological defense. That deep, warm shade comes from melanin, a powerful pigment capable of absorbing up to 90% of the light that enters the eye. Studies from the University of Copenhagen confirm that melanin does more than create color. It acts like a built-in sunscreen within the iris itself. For early humans traveling across the African savanna under harsh ultraviolet radiation, this trait wasn't about appearance, it meant survival. Melanin absorbs damaging UV rays before they can harm the DNA inside eye cells. Brown eyes don't just offer superior protection, they also perform exceptionally well in bright environments. Because melanin absorbs light instead of scattering it, people with brown eyes experience reduced glare sensitivity and sharper vision in strong daylight. This explains why brown eyes are most common in populations living near the equator. Their tone usually appears rich and consistent, rarely changing. Yet under candlelight or during sunset, subtle golden or amber highlights may appear as light interacts with the layered structure of the iris. That shift isn't a color change, it's physics revealing the eye's complex design. Blue eyes. Every individual with blue eyes today traces back to a single ancestor who lived between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago. Research in human genetics linked this to a mutation in the HERK2 gene that effectively switched off brown pigment production. Before that mutation occurred, all humans had brown eyes. Interestingly, blue eyes are not truly blue. There is no blue pigment in the iris. Instead, they contain very little melanin. When light enters, shorter blue wavelengths scatter back outward while longer wavelengths pass through, the same optical phenomenon that makes the sky appear blue. Because of this structural effect, blue eyes can look icy and bright in one setting, then soft gray in another, depending on lighting. Scientists believe this mutation emerged during the Neolithic period, as humans migrated from the Black Sea region into northern Europe. But one question still puzzles researchers: why did blue eyes spread so quickly? Within only a few thousand years, their frequency in northern Europe jumped from 0 to as high as 70 to 95%. One hypothesis suggests that in low-light northern climates, reduced melanin allowed more light to reach the retina, potentially improving vision during long winters. Another theory centers on sexual selection. Blue eyes were rare and visually striking, making them desirable and accelerating their spread through mate preference. DNA analysis of ancient remains even revealed early Europeans who had blue eyes combined with darker, African-like skin, proving that light eyes evolved before lighter skin tones. This finding overturned the long-held assumption that blue eyes were simply a byproduct of pale skin adaptation. Gray eyes. Gray eyes are extremely uncommon, appearing in less than 3% of the global population. They contain even lower melanin levels than blue eyes, causing light to scatter across multiple wavelengths rather than primarily blue ones. This produces their steel-like appearance, shifting between silver, slate, or faint green depending on the environment. Researchers believe gray eyes may have developed as an intensified adaptation to low light conditions in regions like northern Europe, where cloudy skies and limited sunlight were persistent challenges. The broad scattering of wavelengths gives gray eyes a neutral and steady tone, but also makes emotional cues harder to detect due to reduced color contrast. This may be why gray eyes are often culturally linked with wisdom, composure, or emotional distance. Unlike blue eyes that can appear warm or luminous, gray eyes maintain a cool neutrality that many perceive as mysterious. However, the minimal melanin also means greater sensitivity to UV exposure, requiring extra care to prevent long-term sun damage. Green eyes. Only about 2% of the world's population has green eyes, making them the rarest widely recognized eye color. Their rarity comes from a precise genetic combination involving at least 16 different genes working in balance. Too much melanin would result in brown eyes, too little would create blue. Green eyes occupy a narrow middle ground, containing moderate melanin along with a yellow pigment called lipochrome. When light strikes this unique mixture, it produces the recognizable green hue. What makes green eyes especially fascinating is their chemical sensitivity. Studies indicate that green eyes respond strongly to environmental changes, appearing mossy in shadow, golden in sunlight, or even leaning towards hazel or blue-gray depending on surrounding colors and lighting. The shifting quality has fueled folklore for centuries. In medieval Europe, green eyes were sometimes linked to witchcraft. In Greek mythology, they were believed to possess special powers. Even today, they're often associated with intuition, mystery, and creativity. From an evolutionary perspective, green eyes may have offered adaptability in temperate regions with variable light, such as forests or mountainous areas. Their moderate melanin levels provide some UV protection while still enhancing light sensitivity, placing them between the extremes of brown and blue. They are particularly common among people of Celtic and Germanic heritage, especially in Ireland and Scotland, though they can occur in any population given the right genetic mix. Hazel eyes. Hazel eyes are true chameleons. More than any other color, they genuinely shift appearance depending on lighting, clothing, and environment. This is not an illusion, but a physical result of intermediate melanin levels combined with small amounts of lipochrome interacting with light. At one moment they may look green, then golden, and later brown. This adaptability mirrors their evolutionary versatility. Positioned between dark and light on the melanin spectrum, hazel eyes are suited to mixed climates, sun and shade, seasonal shifts, and fluctuating environments. They provide moderate UV defense while maintaining decent light sensitivity. Roughly 5% of the global population has hazel eyes, with higher frequencies among individuals of European and Middle Eastern descent. Genetically, hazel eyes represent a blend of traits rather than a single gene expression, and often appear in families with diverse eye colors. What makes them especially intriguing is their unpredictability. Two people with hazel eyes can have entirely different iris patterns, one dominated by green with brown flecks, another mostly brown with green rings. This variability has contributed to their reputation as emotionally expressive and mysterious, bridging the visual gap between light and dark eyes. Amber eyes. Amber eyes are so uncommon that they are frequently mistaken for light brown or hazel, yet they are distinctly different and appear in less than 5% of people. They contain high concentrations of lipochrome with minimal melanin, producing a solid golden, copper, or honey-colored iris that remains stable in all lighting. Unlike hazel eyes that shift, amber eyes maintain their rich gold tone. This coloration is also found in predators such as wolves, owls, and eagles, which may explain why amber eyes often seem intense or commanding. Some researchers propose that humans subconsciously connect this color with alertness and confidence, potentially providing subtle social advantages. Evolutionarily, amber eyes may have developed less as a light adaptation and more as a visual signal selected through mate preference. They are most commonly seen in individuals of Southern European, Asian, or South American ancestry, though they can occur anywhere when the proper genetic factors align. Black eyes. True black eyes do not exist. What appears black is actually an extremely dense concentration of dark brown melanin that makes the iris look nearly pitch black. This heavy pigmentation absorbs light more efficiently than any other eye color, offering maximum defense against UV radiation and glare. In equatorial areas with constant intense sunlight, this trait provides a significant advantage. Research shows that darker eyes filter harsh light more efficiently and remain visually stable in various conditions, while lighter eyes scatter or reflect light. Very dark eyes absorb almost all of it, giving them a deep, flat appearance. This high absorption can reduce eye strain and may lower the lifetime risk of UV-related eye conditions. Although not always categorized separately, very dark eyes are common in populations from Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Culturally, they are often associated with strength and mystery. Because dense melanin makes pupil dilation less noticeable, emotional shifts can be harder to detect, contributing to perceptions of inscrutability. Heterochromia. Heterochromia occurs when a person has two different eye colors or visible variations within one iris. It affects less than 1% of the population, making it exceptionally rare. Normally, melanin distributes evenly across both irises during development. Heterochromia results when that balance is disrupted, often due to minor genetic mutations, mosaicism, or localized developmental changes. Throughout history, people with heterochromia have been viewed as possessing duality, supernatural ties, or divine favor, perhaps because the condition disrupts the facial symmetry we subconsciously expect. Your eye color carries the legacy of your ancestors, their journeys, their adaptations, and the environments they survived. From melanin-rich brown eyes that endured under ancient suns, to the blue-eyed mutation that flourished across northern Europe, each shade represents a chapter in the story of human evolution. The next time you look into a mirror, remember you're not simply seeing a color. You're witnessing thousands of years of survival, adaptation, and the extraordinary genetic combination that made you who you are.